You are tuned in to the Remnant Broadcast Station, where we deliver good news that you can use. We cover live interviews, spiritual messages, and inspirational music to edify the body. Those who have an ear, let them hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying unto the church through your host, the Remnant.
Tell it all Tuesday.
What's happening, everybody? Today we're talking about looking at the signs instead of looking for a sign. Looking at the signs instead of looking for a sign. One of the things I enjoyed in my younger years was highway driving. I would take road trips quite often for various reasons, and although born and raised in Michigan, I have lived in places such as Ohio, Georgia, Texas, and California, and have visited vacation and or had business trips in South Carolina and several parts of Florida. Now, no matter where I have gone and no matter what states I have traveled through to get there, the highway signs never changed. I never had to ask or wonder or look for a sign, but only pay attention to the signs that were already given to me in order to not end up lost or too far off course. Now, stay with me for a moment. I'm going somewhere with this. During my travels, I have had all totally different experiences while driving, although as stated before, all the signs were the same. For instance, the only time I got a ticket for speeding was once while traveling through Alabama. The only time I have fallen asleep while driving was the time I traveled alone nonstop from Michigan to Florida. And the only time I got totally turned around and lost was while traveling through Louisiana from Texas to Georgia. So what happened? The signs were there in all these states that could have prevented my little mishaps. I clearly saw what the speed limit was, and I knew how fast I was going. I clearly saw and passed by several signs that read rest area ahead, but kept right on going, thinking I can make it until my body gave up. And clearly GPS, Google Maps, and other tools are available to get you from point A to point B. But because I had traveled this way before, I figured I knew the route to take. I ignored all the signs in all these situations, and luckily, because of the mercy and grace of God, I did not bring harm to myself or others. Now, here's my point in sharing this with you on today. We do not have to ask God for a sign concerning anything that's going on in our lives because He has already provided the signs. They're already there, guys. We just have to pay attention and adhere to them. The Holy Spirit is like our GPS. He's here to lead, direct, and guide us through life. And the Bible is the very detailed map that gives us examples of pitfalls, traps, what to watch out for, how to be successful, how to have a good marriage, etc. So we will know what to expect while on this journey and how to handle certain situations. Now, it's up to you whether or not you pay attention to the signs in your life. If your child is doing a lot of things that we sometimes brush off as, oh, they just want some attention, it may be wise to sit down, have a heart-to-heart with that child, and find out what's happening in their little world before you have a terrible teenager on your hands. If your spouse is up on the computer or texting with friends all night instead of cuddling next to you, that may be a sign that something is changing in your relationship. If everybody becomes disgruntled, discouraged, or unhappy when you come around or after being around you, that may be a sign that you have become an infectious killjoy and need to see what's happening in your own life that's causing others to stumble. It's time to come up out of ourselves and pay attention to the world that's around us. Proverbs 16:18 tells us that pride leads to destruction. However, Hebrews 2:1 says warning comes before destruction. So before something occurs, a warning will always go forth. It's up to us to not ignore the signs. If you're being led to not be around certain people in this season, it doesn't matter what they think of you. Stop ignoring the signs. If people are being let go from your job one by one every other day, yeah, it's okay to believe it won't happen to you, and it's okay to have the faith that you will be the one that stays and gets promoted, etc. But know this, there comes a time when you need to use faith, and then there comes a time when you need to use wisdom. Drastic downsizing is a sign that something is going on and you don't want to be caught up in some sort of illegal activity that you don't have nothing to do with or don't know anything about. Please, my brothers and sisters, I beseech you by the mercies of God to pay attention to the signs in your life. Apply this to your everyday life, every area. Stop looking for a sign from a prophet or a pastor to tell you everything that's happening in your life, but rather pay attention to the signs that are already given to you by God. Pastors and prophets are mandated to confirm or enforce what you already know. They are worthy. Now, don't get me wrong. They are worthy of respect and honor because of the positions that they are in, but they are not primarily here to give you signs as to what's going on in your life. You have to develop a relationship with God on your own and pay attention to the signs that God is giving you in order for you to flourish. Well, that's all I got on today, guys. Once again, this your girl, The Remnant, just wanting you all to be blessed, to succeed in life, to be everything that God is calling you to be. And in order to do that, we have to pay attention to the signs in our life so that we won't make drastic errors or drastic mistakes. Until tomorrow, you guys be blessed. This station is endorsed by Dr. Samuel A. Wilson Sr., pastor of Community Christian Fellowship Ministries of Detroit, Michigan.